Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Sport World. It's been an interesting Champions League game. Obviously, Champions League is back, and it's back with a bang. A lot of exciting games across Europe, and it's never a doubt that this particular season Champions League is going to be one of the best, and we're looking forward to that. Let's review all the Champions League matches and results uh, in details. I think I will start with Arsenal, Arsenal Atletico Bilbao. Going to Bilbao to play, it's always going to be a very difficult game because this is a home stadium with extreme passionate fans. And it looks like there's this popular something I used to hear. He said most Bilbao is like a small community that everybody in that particular city or environment knows each other very very well. Like it's just like they know you from to your family house. Like they know you very very well. So it's a city full of like the people are so united. They have one common goal, one common identity. I think definitely playing against them in that home is going to be difficult, and they were up for it, owing that they lost their previous game in the league. I think they lost their previous game in the league, so they were really up for the game. The game was so physical that I think a lot of Arsenal players didn't expect what they saw. Debutants like Iberiches, Noni Madueke, and they were some outstanding performance. First half was about 0-0. I think the second half, Ateta needed to make some attacking change. Um, brought in Martinelli, he brought in Trossard, then he brought in Martinelli, and then the game turned around. First goal was assisted by Trossard to Martinelli, and Martinelli scored, run through halfway line and scored a beautiful goal. And second goal was assisted by Martinelli to Trossard. So it was both of them combining to give Arsenal that particular result. And and deservedly, Martinelli deserved the man of the match. And it was really awarded the man of the match. So that is, I think that's like 5 games, 4 wins, and 1 loss for Arsenal this particular season with 4 clean sheets. Yeah, 4 clean sheets. So it's a beautiful night for the Arsenal fans, and we hope to see more better performance in the subsequent games. Let me talk about Madrid Marseille. This is one game that mm, it wasn't the most exciting game. I think there was a lot of controversy in that particular game. For the penalty awarded, Marseille took the early lead. Then Rodrigo was brought down in the box, and then they awarded the penalty. Kylian Mbappe took the penalty, converted it very well. Then the game was looking so like it's going to end a draw because Marcel was really, really pressing Madrid high before Vinicius came. They substituted Rodrigo and Vinicius came in, and he won a penalty. That penalty is one of the most ridiculous penalty I have seen in my entire life watching football. I don't see that in a million years you blow that a penalty. That was a ridiculous penalty given. But sometimes, all these big teams, they tend to be favored because they want the very, very best to be in the last 8 so that the competition will be very, very exciting. But I don't see why they have to give Madrid a penalty. But nevertheless, Mbappe stood up and converted the penalty, and they ended 2 goals to 1. Mbappe scored 2 goals and was awarded the man of the match. Well deserved from his for overall performance apart from the penalty goals. Overall performance well deserved. And that's all for Madrid. I thought I'll talk about Tottenham Villarreal. Tottenham Villarreal is one. To me, I think for this particular Champions League encounter, is the most boring match so far. Not because of the goals, this score line. There was no any bite in the game. It was like two average team playing football. Nothing exciting, nothing entertaining about the game. Villarreal scored one of the most ridiculous own goal I've ever watched. Maybe not compared to um, Escobar when he scored against Colombia. When he scored against Colombia, yeah, Escobar when he scored against Colombia in this is on 94 World Cup. I think it's 94 World Cup, yeah. So, but this particular one is one of the worst own goal. Uh, and it was enough for Tottenham. They stayed compact, defended very well. They stayed compact, defended very well, and it was enough for them to get their win. And it was okay for them. And they got their first Champions League win for this particular season. I think the next game should be Inter match, Inter versus Ajax. It was just Turan's game. Marcus Thuram was all over. It just like as if he had a personal issue with Ajax. He was everywhere. Even he should be awarded a penalty. There was a penalty that he should be supposed to be awarded, but I didn't know how Michael Oliver waived that penalty because that was a clear penalty. That was a clear penalty. But Michael Oliver with his antics and the way he operates, he waived it, says it's not a penalty, and but it was still more than enough for Turan to seal the win for Inter Milan. My next game is Bayern Chelsea. Bayern Chelsea ended 3 goals to 1. That was I think that was the big game of the week. That was the big game of the week. It was like a lesson learned from Chelsea players. Um, Owing that most of the players have not really played Champions League before. I think apart from Reece James, is the only player in that Chelsea squad that have actually played Champions League football. Most of them didn't know what the Champions League is all about. And it really shows their inexperience in the Champions League stage really, really shows. And I know that this is a wake up call for them and they will learn from it. They will learn from it. First own goal was scored by Chaluba. Then Harry Kane converted from the penalty spot when Caicedo brought him down in the penalty box. Then Palmer put in one back to give Chelsea a lifeline. Then before a mistake from Gusto and Harry Kane punched them in, scored the third goal. And he was awarded the man of the match for his outstanding performance. The Chelsea players, they tried, they put in effort. It shows they were really hungry and up for the game, but just that the experience was really, really, really lacking. And they got punished by Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich is a better team, a better home advantage too. So a lot of factor played against Chelsea, and definitely they will go stronger, stronger, stronger. Uh, as the competition is going, they will keep learning. They will learn more. Maybe they will use other games to learn, and they will learn from Champions is all about learning for the first stage. Then later you start competing properly very well. PSG Atlanta was a riot. I think PSG dealt Atlanta a lesson that they will not forget. 4-0 win. First goal was scored by the captain, Marquinhos. Then Carisha Carafera, that his name is always very difficult for me to pronounce. Aisha Valenzuela make it second. Then I think it's Bakola third. I can't even remember the fourth person again, but I think I'll post the goal scorers on my video in this particular video. I think it was more than enough for PSG to humble Atlanta. When I say humble, not really humbling because Atlanta wasn't really a match to PSG. So it was more than enough. They really shows their credentials of being a European giant. I think my next game I will talk about the Man City Napoli game. Oh my god, that game was a game that everybody was really looking forward to. But I think the early red card in that particular game, but a last min a last man tackle from Lorenzo to Haaland, and it was a well deserved red card. No, last man tackle is always a red card. I think that was what changed the tempo of the game, and because the coach needed to bring in a defender, he sacrificed De Bruyne, and De Bruyne was subbed off, and the game became a different game entirely. City, City were putting a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. And finally, Alan broke the deadlock and he scored. He scored. Then I think who made it two? Doku made it two, and it was more than enough for City to grab the honest weight. And that goal Alan scored made him the fastest player to score 50 Champions League goals. That is an insane record. Haaland is just man. He just an alien. He's just giving me alien vibe of a striker of a number nine. Haaland is so good on 50 goals in 49 Champions League games. That is an insane record, and I don't think any player will ever beat that record. But that's why football, more players will come, more players will go, and we'll see how it goes so far. And then it ended 2 goals to the man of the match was awarded by Foden from his insane performance. He assisted Alan for the first goal, and he was brilliant all through the game. Now, the final game for the week is Newcastle Barcelona. It was an elite performance from the Newcastle players. I think the manager was the cause of the defeat in this particular game. I could say it with confidence. The manager was the cause of the defeat for this particular game. Not playing in number nine was the factor why Newcastle didn't win that game. First half, Newcastle was supposed to be like 3 goals up in that first half. But because there was not a number nine, there was no physical presence, there was not someone in the box that could easily convert those chances. Playing Anthony Gordon in number nine is one of the most shambolic tactical approach that any manager will want to play. Anthony Gordon is not even a clinical finisher. Why would you even play in a number nine? Someone that is not even a clinical. Forget about he scored the consolation late minute goal, but he is not a finisher. It's not a finisher. Playing him as a number nine was a ridiculous tactical approach from Eddie Howe. So I think that cost them. When you're missing your chances against Barcelona, eventually Barcelona will have their own chance and they will punish you. And it was in Marcus Rashford's night. He scored a bullet header, the first goal, and the second goal was an insane thunderbolt. As in, there is no keeper born of a woman that will even attempt for that ball. So that was a beautiful goal. Then it ended, it's more than enough for Barcelona players to seal the win, and they won their first Champions League game this season, 2 goals to 1. And we hope for. There's one player that I need to talk about. Pedri's performance in that game was unbelievable. He didn't score, he didn't assist, but the way he controls the game, the way he reads the game, oh my god. And I will still commend Tonani's performance in Newcastle corner. I think he's the best among all Newcastle players. Tonani was unbelievable in that midfield. It was unbelievable in that midfield. Guys, thank you for this particular video. This is the Champions League recap of all the games that were actually played this particular midweek. I think do ensure to like, subscribe to my channel, turn off notification anytime I drop any video, you'll be notified. Thank you and God bless.